Music, dance, theater, and the visual arts have been a part of life in the Auburn Valley for many generations. Decades of various theatrical groups, music ensembles, and artistic societies created a solid foundation and the inspiration for one group of residents in the mid-1980s to come together and ask the City of Auburn to establish a citizen commission to promote and support the arts in Auburn.
Gertie Springer talked to both of us. Herman, didn't she talk to you too?
Yeah.
And was interested in forming an arts commission, and she'd been talking to Bob Regner, the mayor at that time, and Bob called and asked us if we would be interested in forming an arts commission, getting one started. It was an exciting time. We studied some of the other arts commissions that were nearby. I think Kent was the one that we were looking at, and they were fairly new also. And really, there weren't too many art commissions going in the smaller cities. Back then, you know, Auburn was a little bit smaller than it is today. So it was at a different scale that we were starting out.
In 2009, the City of Auburn Arts Commission celebrates its 25th year of presenting various programs in theater, music, and visual art for the citizens of Auburn. An advisory commission appointed by the mayor and city council and made up of artists and teachers as well as arts advocates works with the city's cultural arts staff to bring the best of all three art disciplines to Auburn. Through programs such as the Bravo Performing Arts Series, Shades of Summer Concerts, Public Art Program, and the 3 visual art exhibition spaces, as well as through partnerships with established organizations such as the Auburn Symphony Orchestra, For Culture of King County, and the Auburn School District, the Auburn Arts Commission's purpose is to integrate the arts into all aspects of our community life.
I always took the number one, at least my personal goal on the commission, to be fostering opportunity for the arts, because I think we're too limited in sometimes the options that especially children have. I mean, it's great if you're in, most of our high schools around here are pretty large, let's face it. And it's one thing to be in a big high school if you're, you know, on the fast track to the top 10% of the class, or you're an athlete, or if you found your niche, you have a little better feeling of security in that big high school. And I think there's not enough arts opportunities. There are arts opportunities, but not as many as that can cover the range of children that might want to be involved. And I think that what we try to do through the program is both through the commission and classes offered through the Parks and Rec Department, we try to offer that range of opportunity that's so important. And if one child has an aha moment of, wow, this works for me, I love it, that's success.
An initial program of the Arts Commission was the creation of a public art collection. In the 1970s, cities and towns all across the nation were creating similar programs by bringing visual artworks out of the galleries and museums and into public places, such as parks, street corners, and plazas. What began as an art movement quickly turned into a way to build a sense of community, people, and place.
I think something else that people are not aware of that the Arts Commission does is works with the architect of different projects in choosing an artist to create something that will fit into that project, things like that. And I think it's wonderful that Auburn encourages us to do that, so that we're an integral part.
The whole process of the public art and the commissioning an artist, or actually having different artists come into a commission meeting and present their conceptual vision of what we had in mind, and so we could integrate those visions. That was really a fun process to me, and the times that we were able to actually go into a studio and watch them fabricate a design or whatever else, and it gives you so much buy-in that, as arts commissioners, we had the privilege of being able to do that, and then to be able to try to go out into the community and share our vision with, what we had in mind for this particular project. But that was always so much fun to see them come back with their little models, and then just watch the process right up to installation. That was fun.
And I think one of the challenges to that process is conveying to the public that when you choose public art, it's not one size fits all. So there may be a piece that someone in the public says, well, why did you pick that piece? I don't like that piece. But maybe 2/3 of the public love that piece. What we're hoping to do is have a range in the collection so that there is something for everybody. And we don't want it to all be the same. And sometimes a pig doesn't look like a pig. Sometimes it's impressionism or a more modern approach, and that's okay. The whole idea with art is to have a broad an expression of what it can be, and I think we've done a good job of that.
I do too.
A recent installation by Seattle artist Susan Zicola demonstrates how the creation of each artwork is a process of collaboration between the Arts Commission and citizens of Auburn to ensure that a new work is a perfect reflection of our community. The City of Auburn's arts collection of over 20 works by many of the Northwest notable artists are situated all over the city. Murals, sculptures, arbors, and iconic installations are all part of this diverse collection that helps define Auburn and its residents. The Auburn Arts Commission presents a vibrant and varied season of music, dance, and theater through its Bravo Performing Arts series, Shades of Summer concerts, and more recently at the Auburn Avenue Theater. Audiences can enjoy comedy shows, a wide variety of musical groups, kids' entertainment, professional dance troupes, and theatrical performances. In addition, the Arts Commission supports local arts organizations such as the Auburn Symphony Orchestra and the Auburn Regional Theater.
Well, we talked right from the beginning that it was the goal not just to bring arts and art performances to Auburn, but to make it affordable. We didn't want it to be an exclusive club. We wanted to be able to offer high-quality performance to the entire community. And I think that's what we've continued, we've actually built on that.
The goal was always to diversify performances to appeal to whatever demographic that Auburn served in.
It took a while though before people got used to it, because so many people were still oriented towards the Moore Theater and some other theaters in Seattle and Tacoma. And it took a while before we could extricate them from there and have them stay in Auburn, because they couldn't understand that we could put up something very good here. And now they are convinced, right?
Yes, and it started out with just Auburn in a sense, and then we went on out into the surrounding towns. And now we're getting people coming from Seattle and north, wanting to see some of the performances, especially I think our Auburn Symphony, which has been such, it's a treasure as far as I'm concerned.
I can go back to when I was 10 and heard my first composition, my first classical piece. And I lived in a very small town, and they had a pianist come through, and she played a Chopin etude. And I thought that was the most beautiful thing I had ever heard. And I have always remembered that. And I became interested in classical music, when I was about 12 probably, and I've been interested ever since. And if I'm agitated or, stressed, you just put on your favorite music and you just go, whoo, come right down. Takes you away, or it brings you to wherever you want to go. It's just become a huge part of my life. So to have a symphony here to go listen to live music is really the best. You hear so much more when you go to a symphony than when you listen on your stereo. Even if you have the very best equipment, you don't hear the woodwinds so well, or the flutes or the piccolos, all the little things, and the big basses. You lose all of that when you hear it on your stereo. But when you're there, you hear every little sound. I've been a performer, and I like to go to the symphony, and so I'm pretty much an appreciator of the performing arts. And what I like the best about it is that these musicians, they come from the Pacific Northwest Ballet, most of them. They're very accomplished musicians, and that symphony is superb. I think Auburn is so lucky to have that it's a jewel right here in our midst. So it's a wonderful treat. Not many small cities have something so good.
That Performing Arts Center is a real resource, and I'm so glad that it's being used the way it is. And you can get first-class entertainment, first-class classical music, free parking, and no drive up to Seattle on stormy nights. I mean, even if the music weren't as good as it would be worthwhile, but the music is wonderful. We've always loved classical music, and even before we got into going up to see the Seattle Symphony, we had moved here shortly before the Auburn Symphony got organized or got performed for the first time. And we went to the first concert and fell in love with the quality of the music. And I think we've been to every single one. That's over 10 years now. It's got a very, strong local tie, not just being in the Performing Arts Center, but with occasional local musicians. Everything's good about it. The whole thing is good.
The Performing Arts Center in Auburn is the largest performing arts facility in South King County. There is nothing else of its size around. So, it's nice to have the smaller venues, but and although, an average audience is around 500, depending on what it is, it's nice to have that big space when we bring the Peking acrobats in, or, some of those venues that those performing groups that really need to have the big space. With the construction of Riverside High School in '95 and then Mountain View High School in 2005, part of the plan and the design was, to include a smaller space venue. They're 400 seats each. Most of the things that we do there are school district things, but they're very busy little facilities with all the requests for the band and music and drama departments and career speakers or whatever else you have. So we don't do as many rentals, outside rentals for the smaller venues yet at this point, and that we do at the Performing Arts Center. And we have, anywhere from about 35 performing arts groups that utilize the big space, and that's, dance schools from around the region and in the community, church groups, business meetings, outside touring groups that come through. Of course, our wonderful Bravo series, which is a hallmark for our region, and just whoever else needs the space.
We started the theater company with the idea that we would present a variety of artistic types of programs, shows, dramas, comedies, classics, musicals, kids programs, just a whole variety of things for the people of South King County. As an organization, we've had an opportunity to connect with a lot of businesses, with a lot of the community, with students, with the Arts Commission, of course, and everybody's been very supportive of our business, and everybody has pitched in some way or another, whether it's coming to a show or donating funds that are much needed to continue to help our theater organization grow.
So it's really important that we just keep kind of going and getting people to know about us so that they come and support us. Most importantly, ticket sales. We want people to come and see what we do, because obviously, we're doing this for them. We're doing this for the public, and not just, it is fulfilling for us, but we certainly want this to be a gift that we give to the public. So
the public response, the audience response has been fantastic. I mean, we've had people compare us to Broadway. I don't know if we're quite at that level, but certainly
it's nice to hear, though.
It was nice to get those kinds of responses from the audience and from the people that have come to see our productions.
The talent in the area has been just phenomenal. We are able to cast from Auburn primarily, but we also cast from all other areas, Federal Way, Kent, even so far as Olympia and Seattle. We've had some actors involved in our shows, but the biggest joy for me really is working with the kids of this community, and we use a lot of kids in our shows, middle school, elementary, high schoolers. They don't often have a chance to do things outside of school, and often the school programs get cut or diminished, and so I think what we offer is a chance for them to continue their craft and to grow, and that's what we love to do.
And at a very high quality production too. So we not only give people an opportunity to grow from a certain point, but we also give them an opportunity to be part of a high quality production that the audience truly loves, that people are going to hopefully continue to support, and everybody will grow and prosper. Stars that used to twinkle in
skies, a twinkling in my eyes, I wonder why.
In supporting art at its source, the artist, the Arts Commission established the Cheryl Salee Gallery in the Senior Activity Center and galleries in the lobbies of City Hall and Auburn Avenue Theater. Special exhibits such as Small Works, Big Presence at the White River Valley Museum and solo shows are also a feature of the visual arts program. These exhibits provide visual artists from all around the Puget Sound region many opportunities to display their work. The exhibits are always changing and provide an educational opportunity to learn about various techniques, mediums, current trends in art, as well as a little art history.
The Cheryl Salee Gallery is actually pretty new. It's only been here a couple of years, and it was as a tribute to the first director of the Senior Center, who was here for 30 years, I believe. What I think I like about it the best is that it makes that fireplace room have a really nice ambiance. It's just like sitting in your living room with your own art on the wall and the fireplace and the sofas there, and people do puzzles there, and people come and look at the art. I see people circulating through there quite a bit. So I'm pretty sure that the people who really want to do art have been inspired by having it hung right here in their own senior center.
I am a local artist, and as most of us, I look forward to opportunities to get out into the public and show my art, partly with a off chance of selling it, but more just for validation that people accept it as something worthwhile. And so when the brochure from the White River Valley Museum came, it was a very attractive brochure. It wasn't one that I could just put aside and say, well, that doesn't look worthwhile, but it caught my attention. And entered, was happy to get one large or one semi-large and two minis into the show, which was enough for me. I mean, it's always nice to get paintings in a show because it's nothing you can take for granted. I really think that the museum and the Arts Commission deserve a lot of credit for this show. I know very well from my own experience it's not easy to put on, but I think the show was very worthwhile, and I think very much appreciated by the artists, and I assume by the viewing public. And then when I was told that I had won the People's Choice Award, I thought, holy smokes, that really was a big feather in my cap. Not that I wear feathers, but it was very good for my pride. I felt very good about it, and particularly since it was a painting that I really liked. I feel differently about some of my paintings and others. Some are very special, and this was a very special one because it was about the Yakima River, and it used some of the really bright colors that I like to use, which isn't all that easy when you're painting the Yakima River, which is usually browns and grays and tans and colors like that. But it inspires me to do a kind of painting that doesn't totally come naturally to me, but I like better than anything else I do. So, as if, fishing has gotten me out into places I love to be, and I think some of that enthusiasm comes through in my better paintings. I hope it does. I've been told it does.
I had submitted a disc to the commission, and they really liked the work, but really felt that there was no practical way to hang the pieces in the City Hall gallery. And I said, well, why don't you come out and take a look at the real work, and maybe we could figure an alternative way to mount the work. And all of a sudden it flashed on, I think, the two or three of you at the same time. It's like, wow, we have a cemetery, and this reception area might be perfect to mount a solo show of about 12 to 15 pieces. And then also just the interactive quality of what the Arts Commission was trying to integrate different art forms. And I had a woman I knew who runs a small family cemetery, historical cemetery in Oregon, who is a expert on imagery, cemetery imagery, and she had written a book about cemeteries, small town cemeteries, and we invited her to come up and be a guest speaker, and so we combined these two things together, and we set up a really nice area with bleachers outside where I was able to speak about the work for about 25 minutes, and then Shannon Applegate spoke about the symbolism of cemetery, iconography and statuary, and just a beautiful reception and the coming together of these two, both literature and visual art coming together in a setting that's unusual. I mean, you don't normally expect to see a solo art show mounted in a cemetery building, administrative building. To me, it was the best show I've had yet. I mean, it was just such a different setting, and Auburn Arts Council was so supportive of the work and getting the word out.
It's a wonderful piece. It's very welcoming, I think, for everybody, but it's also a wonderful remembrance of a really fun event.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, my favorite event so far, that's for sure.
And we were on the commission for so long, and finally it was decided for all of us as commissioners that we should have term limits, because really we need to be bringing new people on constantly. Right. And we did this all the way through, but some of us just didn't want to let go. The time came.
It was hard.
It was hard to let go, but at the same time it was a good feeling to be able to turn it over to one of these other people who are doing such a marvelous job. And I would say to continue what they're doing and continue adding as time goes on with what needs to be done, working with the Parks Department, with the architects on new projects. There's lots in the coming, I think, and continue to be a visual force within the community.
And I think another important thing that I would like to mention is the opportunity to become involved, either in the Bravo Volunteers or come in and attend a commission meeting, and maybe you'd be interested in applying for the commission.
Absolutely.
Because
Get on a committee.
we're always, there's subcommittees of the commission, there's a commission itself, and it's open to anybody that wants to come in and apply or attend a meeting. And if you love the arts, we're the right place for you.
The Auburn Arts Commission looks forward to the next 25 years with the expansion of current programs, the addition of arts education program for all age groups, and the continued support of those artists, actors, writers, dancers, and musicians who all call Auburn home.
I think Auburn is just so fortunate, and particularly to have the Bravo series, but that has just, brought people through the doors, and, to have such great opportunities to see things that they wouldn't ordinarily have, and very affordable prices. Evergreen City Ballet has just done some incredible things on our stage. They still do their Nutcracker at the Performing Arts Center, which is well received throughout the area. It's just beautiful. We have, of course, the Auburn Symphony, which is the Performing Arts Center is really home to the Auburn Symphony. I literally can go to the balcony, which is my favorite place, to go and watch a performance, and particularly the symphony, and sit up there and just take that time that most of us in this day and age don't take that time to just sit and absorb it and realize, why is it that I do this? Because a lot of the times it's paper pushing, and you forget just how beautiful the opportunities are that we have, and how beautiful music and art can be, and to heal our souls. And it's those times that I can go sit up in that balcony and just really take it all in, that I realize, how fortunate Auburn is, and how fortunate I am to, practically on a daily basis have access to, such incredible art forms in my life. So it's been a real blessing.
For specific information about the Auburn Arts Commission, please visit us on the web at www.auburnwa.gov/arts. Thank you, and enjoy the arts in Auburn.